This podcast episode contains a sensitive and candid conversation about suicide, including discussions that may contain explicit details, personal experiences, and emotional content related to suicidal thoughts, attempts, and mental health struggles. Please be advised that this content may be distressing or triggering for individuals who have experienced trauma, are currently dealing with mental health challenges, or are sensitive to discussions about suicide. Listener discretion is advised. And if you or someone you know is in crisis or needs immediate help, please seek professional assistance or contact emergency services. Welcome to the Faith Like This podcast. I'm Minuet Silver.
And I'm Freddie RAMSEY Jr.
Where we talk all things God.
And all things entertainment industry.
Boom.
Okay, so usually we start the podcast off, or the conversation, I should say. We started off with a question. Minuet usually put me on the spot with a question. But I got a question for you.
Okay.
How do you feel like music impacts our culture?
Wow,
the
music.
Impact that the urban or that the secular music has on our culture.
The secular music have on our culture. I think that it affects every area, I feel like, within our lives. Relationships, what we feel like we should have, where we feel like we should be. And that's, I guess I could say, those are the negatives. But what I do think is that I think positively, I have seen and met more and more new upcoming artists and artists who are being bold about what they believe, whether it's faith, whether it's doing things the right way, whether it's productivity.
Right.
It's less like who I've been with, what I got, and more, this is what I overcame, and this is how I can help you overcome that. So I think now music has turned more into storytelling as and a release and escape. And I think that we're finding our way back in music, trying to get back to the old times, but also I think now we're able to more so identify the problem within the music industry in Hollywood. Yeah.
No, I think that's a great answer. I think I posed that question because when I was teaching, when I was growing up also, but when I was teaching in the urban areas of Pittsburgh, I was finding myself out. I was a young man, I was out partying, and then I would be in the classroom teaching. And I started to look at the lives that some of the young people, that I was working with and I was leading them, that they were living. And I was noticing how it seemed like a lot of what they listened to was reflective of the environment, right? It was a lot of glorification of like drugs and sex and even like artists who we know, because we're out here in Hollywood, so artists who we know don't really do these drugs or drink this lean or participate in this stuff, but they rap about it and they promote it to people. And then
in the inner cities.
In the inner or people all over though, because now it's not just inner cities. Like, the last time I went back home, I saw a young man on the corner. I'm driving up Hartford Road. I'm in East Baltimore. And I seen a guy, he had to be no older than 17, and he was like leaned over like junkie. Like, and I would see that growing up, like catching the bus to school and stuff like that.
But never that young.
But never that young.
Yeah.
And I was just like, wow. So it seems like it's had a major impact on especially the black community, even all communities, the white community in the Midwest right now. They're dealing with the opioid crisis, and maybe it wasn't handled the best way with us, but that still don't mean I wish those problems on any other people. Right. And it seems like the music could do that. But something I do want to touch on, you said that it's led us, like we're finding our way back to storytelling.
Yeah.
And that's the beautiful part about music, right? Like, that's what made, the greats the greats. They told great stories.
Right. Stories of love.
Yeah, stories of love. And that's why Afrobeats to me is one of my favorite genres right now.
I love Afrobeats.
Because it's either like love or, it's a vibe, it's fun. It's not, shoot 'em up, kill 'em. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really trying to hear that right now.
I'm going to take yo.
Yeah, I'm going to take you.
Beat yo.
Yeah. I feel like, but something. This is a faith-based podcast, right? We are in our church. Shout outs to Hope Entertainment. Shout outs to Center of Hope in the Valley. And you know, it does talk about how Satan was the angel of song, and how music is very powerful. It's one of the only art forms that attacks both of our brains. Not attacks, but it engages both sides of our brains at the same time. Wow. So the instrumental, the song is like kind of playing on your emotion, and the words are playing on your intellect. And if you're repeating that over and over, you are what you eat.
Yeah, right.
You are what you consume, and so if we are consuming that, then But that segues us into our next guest.
Yeah, that's good.
Tell us about go.
Yeah, no, I agree. We have to protect our eye gates and our ear gates, and that's why when I go to sleep, I'll either play rain sounds, ocean sounds, or I'll even listen to soakings. There's Graham Cook. He has soakings that I'll listen to talking about sweet things that God has planned for you, and I'll allow that to soak into my spirit while I sleep. But yes, I am so incredibly excited to introduce my great friend to this podcast. He is a phenomenal artist, actor, all-around entertainer, and yeah, I'm just so excited that he's here with us today, and we're going to bring him on. Lee Adrian.
Yeah.
Mr. LA. Thank you.
How y'all doing? What's up?
Man, good, man. How you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome to LA. I mean, I know you've been here. I want to let you tell your story. What brought you, first, where are you from? I want your story of Atlanta, Texas to Atlanta, and then how you ended up in LA.
Oh man, y'all got time?
We got time. We got
time, man.
So I'm from Houston, Texas, born and raised, from the 5th Ward of Houston, Texas. So it's my hood. Shout out Trinity Gardens. Shout out to all my cousins out there and everybody. Born and raised. When I turned 18 years old, I moved to Atlanta. Clark Atlanta University. Shout out to Clark Atlanta University.
Okay, it's our second guest from Clark Atlanta University.
Yeah.
Derek King with the Clark
Derek
Atlanta
King.
Oh yeah, that's my brother. Derek
Derek.
is my brother. Like that's my
Oh,
brother.
that's
Shout out to Derek.
crazy.
That's my brother. That's like we went same dorm room.
Are y'all friends?
Nah, he's Alpha. I am a member of Kappa Alpha Psi.
Oh man, the wrong 191.
That's
Crazy.
Again.
No, I like the Kappa.
I love it,
Y'all
man.
cool.
I love it. I was having that conversation with somebody today too, but I love y'all, bro. But yeah, so Clark Atlanta for about 9 years. Graduated, and after I graduated, I kind of just stayed and tried to find my position in the industry and where did I fit as an artist. And so I did a lot of interning and schooling, things like that. Promoting. I did a lot of promoting in clubs, and so I moved out to LA about a year ago. Okay. So I am a year and 2 months now. Okay. So it's been a journey. So this 1 year has been a journey. So that's what I would say for sure.
That's incredible. So I want you to talk about. We want to hear your love for music. Why music, right. and why leave Atlanta to pursue music in Los Angeles?
So music born. Shout out to my moms. Every Sunday morning, she would wake us up at like 5 in the morning to clean up, right? And we would clean to 60s music, 70s music. She loved Prince. She made me fall in love with music. My first album was Tupacalypse Now. Was one of my favorite. Tupac is one of my favorite artists. So listening to Tupac, artists like Jay-Z, Biggie, Bone Thugs and Harmony, Common. At that time, Scarface. I'm from Houston. Artists like Scarface and Pimp C and Bun B, like that really resonated. And for where I'm from, I don't know if y'all know about the screw culture, but the chop and screw culture is very much of a culture in Houston. So a lot of people don't know that I started rap when I was 10 because of my cousin, and we started this group, 2YRC, Two Young Rapping Christians. So a lot of people don't know I started off Christian rapping first, and we went on tour with this guy by the name of Another Fighting Christian, AFC, and it's kind of what we piggybacked our name off of. And so with that, it got me to writing about things that I was going through at the time. Like my mom, I'm the oldest of 5, well technically 10 now. So yeah, my mom, but I grew up with my 4 siblings, my 3 sisters and my brother. So I always felt as if I had to, protect them and things like that. So she basically was a single mother. She has, I have basically 2 stepfathers, and she raised us basically by herself. Like I was 3, 4, and 5. From 3, 4, and 5, we were in a shelter. It's called Star of Hope on the east side of Houston, and I was raised in the shelter for 3 years. And I got a picture of my 4th birthday. It's Power Rangers cake, and so my mama had me at 15. She had me at 15 years old. So all that goes into say that like I started to write about those things at a young age. I had a stepfather, and unfortunately we don't have the best relationship as I would like, but there was a lot of abuse in my household, verbal abuse, physical abuse, and it seemed that I got the pressure because I was the oldest, you know what I mean? So anything went wrong, it was my fault. I had to basically walk on pins and needles, and I couldn't really enjoy my childhood as I wanted to. So the only outlet that I had was music. I would put my headphones on and I would do this thing, and it's called rocking. And I would like I was young, I was smaller, so the smaller me would have put my feet in the back of the couch, and I would just lean like this, and I would have my headphones on, and I would just do this, and I would just close and any song that came on, I would just hum it. I would just hum, no matter what song it was. Eventually, I started to write out what I felt. I didn't know anything about the structure of music at the time, or I wasn't in no piano lessons. I never did any of that growing up. So it was literally just me writing what I felt, kind of like a journal. You know what I mean? I had to journal myself. So that's where my love came from, and that's why I do it now. When I went to Atlanta, I kind of I wrote all through high school. I used to be the guy that was in the back of the school bus rapping, you know what I mean? Like I was him. Like, when I first found out, that's what people I had to, in high school you had to find out who you were. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I was that. I love to entertain people with my words. So I was the guy in the back of the school bus. I was a guy at B lunch, C lunch. I would skip class to go to D lunch. And we'll beat on the table and have different type of freestyle battles and things like that. So that's kind of where I'm just rooted from. I'm rooted with just lyricism, you know what I mean? So with that, I go to Atlanta and I see that Atlanta's culture, music culture is dope. You know what I mean? Just different people at Clark Atlanta, everybody has a talent, you know what I mean? And so it was a thing at Clark, to literally, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Who are you really? You know what I mean? What can you not necessarily bring, but what is your value? You know what I mean? And I felt like that was my value. I can speak to people. I can use my words to connect with people. And so with that, I established a rapport. I opened up for 21 Savage. I opened up for Lil Baby. So just artists like that. And Clark Atlanta teaches you how to network. So I literally networked with a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Because that goes into my transition to LA. A lot of my colleagues are out here. People I went to school with, you know what I mean? And they're all literally in the industry, some type of way, no matter if it's acting, music, background, whatever, they're in the industry. So it's kind of an easy transition. Everybody's like, yo, you need to come to LA. You know what I'm saying? Whatever, bring your talents to LA. Let's, you know what I mean? Do something. So, boom. A year and a half, I'm here. I'm here now. So.
I love that. Yeah, and you're so talented.
Thank
you. Before we let you go, we're gonna have to hear. I want to hear you say something. No, because when your music, it's so powerful, and you hardly use any curse words, right? And a lot of these days, it's sometimes you'll hear curse words thrown in and profanity as filters, but you always have something to say, whether you're talking from your heart, speaking on relationships. You're always speaking highly of Black women in your songs.
Hey man, I love my Black women.
I know you do, because the way, and I be coming to your concerts, and I be in the front, so I want to know, with your journey of having music the way that you have it without all the profanity, what backlash or any roadblocks have you seen any, or do you feel like that plays a factor in the music industry?
I feel like with anybody who does music, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to. I'm blunt. I'm really blunt. I'm really like upfront. You know what I mean? I'm not the type of person that's just gonna hold my tongue. And I guess that's a Houston thing, because if you catch me on a basketball court, that's the first thing I'm gonna say. I'm from Houston, so it's like ain't nothing like, you know what I mean? It's like that's where I'm from. So what I say on stage, I'm a big heavy advocate for mental health, and that is my soul. I feel like God has gave me that sole purpose to attack that at this moment. You know what I mean? And so many of us as just black people in general, but as black men who we face so many adversities in life, and we feel like we don't have nobody to talk to. You feel what I'm saying? Like we have to hold that chest up, you know, chin high, you know what I mean, and just walk around like ain't nothing wrong, when in reality we burning up on the inside. You get what I'm saying? Like we literally want to cry, you know what I'm saying? Like every chance we get, and we can't cry in public because probably the woman that we date calling us so out of our name, or telling us that we weak or whatever. Like it doesn't matter. The world is telling us that we're weak or we're not good enough. You know what I'm saying? The police, anybody. I'm not afraid to talk about these type of issues in my music. So people try to label me a conscious rapper. I don't particularly say that. I'm just conscious of the things that's going on around me, and I love to write about it. You know what I'm saying? I can be in the club and I can write about what's going on in the club too. That's fine. You know what I mean? But right now, at this moment, I'm in a phase where but I've always talked about that. No matter, even like I said, me starting off as a Christian rapper, like I literally, like my family, abusive. Like my stepfather was very, very abusive. Like to the point where I went to school one year. He was putting his hands on my mom's, and I actually wrote about this in a song called "Hear Me Out," and he constantly kept doing it. I was like, as a kid, I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna hurt him when I get older. You know what I'm saying? I remember being so hurt that I saw a picture of him in my mom's room, and it was just a picture, and I just took a pen, and I just stabbed like 100 holes in the picture.
Wow.
And just sat there and just like, no, I'm not flexing at all. Like literally just, and that's like how much I despised him at a young age. I was only like 6 or 7 years old. You feel what I'm saying? So, fast forward, I just got tired of it one year. I was like right before my 18th birthday. My mom, she had owned a daycare, and he came out. She was in home daycare, and he came out of his room and started screaming and yelling. My little brother had fell asleep on the toilet, and it was just a bunch going on at one time. And I'm in the room, I'm chilling, I'm minding my business, and all I hear is like him screaming and yelling at my mom's. And next thing I know, I hear just loud bang, just boom, and it was a bang in the hallway from my room. And you walk to the right, you'll see him holding her against the wall, and he had his hand around her neck, just holding her. And I just like literally like everything in my body just ran up. And as I got to him, because he instilled so much fear in me as a kid, I stopped.
Wow.
I like literally just stopped. I stopped. I didn't, like, as much as I wanted to hit him, I stopped. But he turns and he hits me first, which gave me the confidence to hit him back. So we had a whole, like, we fought, and it was at this point where the floor, because my brother fell asleep in the bathroom, the tub was flooded. Wow. I slipped and fell, and when I did that, both his thumbs went into my eyes, right? And he just pressed. And so that like some of the police came, and that was a whole big thing. And the next day, went to school with, like, I had 2 blood shots in the middle of my eye. So my whole, like, it felt like it was like a contact, like a red contact was just in the middle of my face. And but that's just like one issue. Like it's been plenty of issues where I got beat for no reason because my little brother did something and I took the blame. You know what I mean? Went to school with whelps and just it's okay to discipline your children.
Yeah.
But it's another thing to abuse your children. You know what I'm saying? So that I was in that, and I took a lot of abuse growing up and a lot of verbal abuse growing up. So it just brought me to the point now. It's like I'm not afraid to talk about that because a lot of people have the same story that I have or similar to what I have. You feel me? So.
Absolutely. And I wanna know while we're on this, are you mad at God?
Mad at God?
Yeah, for what you went through, or do you feel like what you experienced as a child has made you who you are today? Like, what are your thoughts in what you went through as it relates to God and your faith?
Not at all. God is my guy. You feel me? Like my grandfather, Harry Youngblood. He instilled God into me very early in life, and my grandfather went through a lot, like death, like near death experiences and things like that. But he always, no matter what he did on the outside, when he'll come see me, he's like, "Hey, son, you know, God is this and God is that and God is good," and teaching me about different scriptures and just instead of just having to sit down with me. And at that age, I don't know why, I was always just tuned in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that kept me grounded. I prayed, like didn't know what exactly, or if it was a structure of a blueprint of how to pray, or, you know, what I asked for, you know what I mean? Like I didn't meet my dad until, and it was a big part of the reason I'm saying this, because I didn't meet my dad until 3 years ago, my biological father, you know what I mean? And my whole life I prayed that my dad would just come through the door and rescue me from this, you feel what I'm saying? Like I prayed for that, and it was like, well, okay. And one year, I was like 23. I just gave up on it. You know what I mean? And how God works, as soon as I gave up on it, 2 months later, I get a message on Facebook. Somebody was like, "Hey, I know your dad." So I'm like, okay, he must be talking about, you know, my stepfather. And he was like, "Nah, I'm talking about Tony." And then I'm on Facebook. I'm like, all right, stop playing with me. You feel me? Like, don't play with me like that. You feel me? He's like, he gave me his number. I gave the number to my mom because I didn't want to talk to him. So I gave the number to my mom first. My mom ended up talking to my dad, and she called me back, and she was like, "Yeah, that's your father." And it was like, oh, wow. And that was like one of the best moments of my life. But I'm never mad at God because he took me through those experiences for a reason, so I can give my testimony and talk to people about that, you know what I mean? So I could tell them, hey, I've been through the same things you've been through. I've been through the abuse. I've been through it's funny because I've been through it. Yeah. And it's, you know, I wouldn't say it hurt, but when you speak about it, I get in that mode. Yeah. This is where I get to want to write music. You feel me? This is where I want to get to listening to a certain type of, you know, soundtrack with conversations like this. So, nah, I'll never be mad at God. God is my first and foremost. My friend told me my superpower is my faith and my will. Wow. And when he told me that, I was just like, he was like, bro, I've never met anybody with as much faith as you have. Yeah. Like, no matter what you're going through. I'm going to share something with y'all. Yeah, I do music and all that, and it's all dandy, but I ain't making no $1 million for music, right? So I do my part-time gigs, right? I'm a bartender part-time, and I work overnight and do some stocking and stuff like that. Had a great month. Great month. I'm gonna tell you how the devil tried to get you, right? So last night I worked my bartender gig. It's great. I made great money, right? I get a call this morning from my bar manager, the owner. He tells me, he say, "Hey man, you're doing phenomenal. You're doing great. We love everything you're doing, but unfortunately we gotta let you go."
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, this happened this morning, today.
Wow.
And I wasn't gonna tell nobody, but I feel like this is a perfect, you know, platform for me to get this out because I haven't even told like my peoples yet. So, and I was like, "What you mean? Like what? Like TMI?" But I'm in the bathroom, like, you know what I'm saying, like getting ready to go. You know what I'm saying, like
you relax.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm chilling, like I'm happy. I done made, you know, some money, and he was like, "Well, you know," he told me the reason why. He's like, basically, you just started 2 months ago, and I'd rather keep the people that have been there for, you know, such and such amount of years. And, you know, it ain't about your performance, and, you know, try to hit me with that. And when I hung up the phone, 2 words stuck out to me: discovery, and was it discovery and discouragement?
That's what I heard.
Discovery and discouragement, right? And it was like I'm in a new chapter of my life with discovering a lot of things about myself, things that I wouldn't have noticed without obeying God, because I was in a situation where, you know, sometimes we don't obey.
Yeah.
Right.
Sometimes we do things and God be like, I told you not to do that.
Right.
You did it anyway, so now here's the consequence. You feel me? So
Yeah.
you start obeying. I'm in a new chapter of obeying, so now I'm discovering a lot of things where discouragement isn't a thing to me. So it didn't discourage me, the fact that he told me, hey, bro, you ain't got no job no more. I just said, oh, okay, all right. And after I hung up the phone, I said, God, and the crazy part is, the night before yesterday, I said, God, if it is not for me,
Take it away.
please take it away.
Yeah, man.
It's the same thing I just, you know what I'm talking about. 4 days later.
You feel me? And I'm like,
Yeah.
and I didn't, and I literally got dressed, and I was on my merry way. You know what I mean? So it's like discovery. I'm in a new chapter of discovery in my life, so it makes me tell that story to people through my lyrics and through my music. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's pain. It's a lot of heartache. And just to touch on that, you know this story, and a story that I'm just now putting out there. Like I said, my year here has been a little difficult, but in April, that's why I touch on the mental health thing. My roommate, he committed suicide in the house.
Wow.
And I literally just left a funeral. My big mom, she passed away, and shout out Big Mama. And I prayed with the cat about a week before that, and the week I come back, I get a call from my other roommates like, "Hey, yo, you seen Gavin?" I was like, "Nah, I haven't seen, you know, whatever." He's like, "Well, yeah, his dad is looking for him, whatever." I said, "Okay, well, I'll go to the house and, you know, see where he at." So I go to the house, and I'm like, "Hey, yo, Gavin, you know, whatever." Boom, I don't hear nothing. I walk in the room, and I didn't see nothing at first because the way his closet is set up. And when I walk in it, I'm like, my first word is the F-bomb. Like, I'm like, ain't no way. Like, and it's not, it's like, at this point, I'm shaking, and I'm just like, Lord, ain't no way I'm going through this right now. First thing, I called the police.
You found him.
Oh yeah, he was hanging. I had to cut him down. I called the police. They told me to cut him down because they didn't know, and I didn't know how long he'd been up there. And as I cut him down, like, you could hear his last breath. You know, people talk about that last breath. Like, I literally heard his last breath. You know what I mean? And the police told me to cut him down, and they came and they, you know, did their investigation or whatever. You know, so you have it. And at that time, I had literally just moved there a couple months prior. You know what I mean? And he was a good guy, man. He had a family around him of people, but whatever demons he was dealing with, whatever problems he was dealing with, he couldn't take it no more. You feel me? So he felt like that was enough to end his life. Wow. You feel me? And he wanted to do the festival with me. It's why it's called Nomadics Mini Festival, and he wanted to do it with me. So since he didn't have the chance, I'm now carrying that festival on and performing and headlining in front of however many people want to come out and support that cause, because that's what my festival's for. So.
Yeah, man. I want to give you time to promote that too.
Thank you.
But, man, just listening to that and listening to the adversity, you know, and maybe you know this already, and this is for maybe more for our listeners, but also a reminder to you and us, you know, when I read scripture and I look at these people, you know, I read about people who've been through something. that's what validates their ministry in a way, you know. And what you're speaking about, it sounds like God has His hand on your life, and you know, you are. I always tell people this: God's word is not dead. Yeah. So God is still writing a story right now, right. You know. And just like you may read the story of Job, or you may read the story of Samson, or all of these people, right? People are listening to, because we have different mediums now, but people are listening to and reading the story of Lee Adrian, you know? And even for your roommate, you know, he may have ended his life, and this is for anyone who's in that place and thinking about doing that. Your struggles are not the thing that will stop you. Don't feel like you're not good enough. Seek that help. Be vulnerable and tell someone what you're going through, because it's coming out of that struggle that's really impactful, and it's powerful, and it means something. And it don't matter where you are or what your battle has led you to become. There's nothing that's unworthy in the eyes of our God. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's why music to me is so important, bro, because you can be able to reach people through that, you know what I mean? For people that are going through that, like, you don't have to be, like, music makes you feel a different type of emotion no matter what song you're listening to, you know what I mean? Like, so just being the fact that, like, I have this song called Stuck on You, and it's about postpartum depression. It was something that my sister had battled with as she almost had triplets, but she ended up losing one, so she has twins. And but I wrote that song because of the way, when I spoke to her, the way she was telling me how she felt, and the fact that she was very depressed about, you know what I mean? It's like, she don't know if she love her kids, but she don't know if she love her kids. You feel me? Like, it was that deep. Like, you know what I mean? She's like, I'm happy I have kids. You know what I'm saying? But at that point in time, she was so messed up mentally, she really couldn't figure it out. So I feel like, just in general, that music connects with people so well that it can make you feel 10 times better. Yeah. When you know what I mean? Like, and that's what I did. Like, after I got that call, it's like, okay, all right, let me listen to something. You know what I mean? It's this song called He Still Loves Me, the OJ singing. Fighting Temptations, one of my favorite movies.
That's
you
one
feel
of my
me?
favorites, bro. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I listened to that, like, and I was just like, I'm all right.
Beyonce,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, you know, but the lyrics, you know, though I'm not good enough, He still loves me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Though I'm not worthy, He still loves me. You know what I mean? Like, that, those words are very powerful. So,
do you feel like that's I mean, obviously, you know your purpose in that way, but is that something that you found through your gift with music?
Yes.
Right? Or did you always kind of know that?
It had to be through music, because as a kid, we innocent, so we don't really truly know. You know what I'm saying? You know, it comes from my first time writing a particular song that honed into my emotions. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's when I knew, it's like, yo, this makes me feel better. It wasn't for other people. It was therapeutic for me. Wow. You know what I mean? Like, even now, I read this book called The Artist's Way, and I journal, you know, 3 pages every morning. You know what I mean? And it really connects me back to my childhood, even things that I don't want to think about, that I have to let go. You know what I'm saying? That I had to let go. You know what I mean? To the point where, you know, you see the guy that you know standing in front of today, and things I'm still working on. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? It's a lot of stuff I'm still working on. You know what I mean? And just, it's not bad things. It's just, okay, cool. All right, you gotta, you know, let that go. Let go and let God. You feel me? And so that's what I'm at.
Can we hear a couple lines? Can we do that?
I mean, you asking them.
Do you feel like of Stuck on You?
I could do that.
I love that song, and you're always I go to all these performances, you know what I'm saying? I be in the front, and you always open up and talk about how it was about your sister dealing with postpartum depression, and I think it's beautiful. You always have a life story or an entryway into your music, and I just want to hear a couple.
Peace, love, and happiness. I'm trying to ask you this. On your way to pass me a packet, I'm feeling passionate. I'm asking if you got it, man. Even then, I ain't having it. Practically, I'm mad at me, madam, I beg your pardon. Floor seats, Madison Garden. My love is like a sofa, how you sat in it, quickly became an analyst and study how your body is pure, you're a naturalist. Naturally, I'm attracted, your blackness is filled with magic. Fashion is in the fabric, static, a melanin elements of your elegance, open skies, or you haven't sent. I saw you over time, your development fairly evident, lovable and benevolent. Haters, they are irrelevant. Pessimists, they are definite. Love you when you're relevant, but hate you when you're better than. So be better than your blackness. And that's stuff on you.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, you got the flow. We got to add the little sound.
I just want, you know, Lil, so I can say, yeah, I had Lee Adrian on my podcast.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.
No, that's fire, man.
Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you,
Amazing,
thank you,
brother.
thank you, brother. I appreciate it.
Thank you for sharing too, man. I think your transparency about where you are now is really important. We do that often, you know. People see us on platforms. They see us on TV. They see us doing concerts. They see us performing. They see us opening for artists. And they don't realize, like, you know, we are still going and getting it. We're not, you know, and there is no, you know, we kind of created this too to demystify things in a way. You know, it's like, don't be like, oh, I'm not doing it. Or, you know, this brother is popping and he just told you he had a job. You know, like, keep grinding, keep hustling, because it's not in the goal. The gift is not in the destination.
It's in the journey.
It's in the journey.
Yeah.
My mama got me a globe that said that. She got me a nomadic music group globe. And it's like, music is not the destination, it's a journey. So it's like, that's powerful. And just, not even that, just people in your life having powerful people. Me, I you know how much I care about you. So, you know, it's like, and just based off our first conversation, you know, with each other, like you automatically just showed me that love and vice versa. You know what I mean? We were on our first time just going out, we were able to speak about God and so how he's done so much for us and being there for us. You know what I mean? So it's like just having that tribe of people that you can vent to, you care about, and that's what goes back into the mental health. People that you can talk to that are going through the same thing, but you all are fighting together. Nobody's giving up. You need somebody to be accountable for you, to help you through those times where you fall and you need to be picked up. You know what I mean? So that's what I love in general. You know what I mean? That's what it continues to connect me back to my roots and God and things like that. Being faithful.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you said that, because that's the motto of our church. You know, closer to people, closer to God. And, you know, a lot of people would be like, oh, you don't need therapy. You need Jesus. You need this. You know, my boy Derek wears a nice hoodie. It says Jesus and therapy. You know, he's like, give me a little bit of both.
No, that is very true.
But no, I was saying that because, you know, you should be able to come to the body of Christ, you know, or you should be able to come to the church or come around believers, and there should be help there. There should be care there. There should be love there. There should be a place. This should be a place where people can come, no matter where they are, no matter what they're experiencing or what they've done. This should be the place that they should be able to come to talk about it and not feel ashamed about it. And I feel like so often, part of the reason why we're doing this is because, you know, the church and a lot of spaces has a bad name just for being judgmental and for excluding people, or these type of people ain't getting into this and that.
I deal with that with music.
Yeah, so. Jesus ain't never really walked that way, and we're followers of Christ in that way. I mean, we want to break that down, especially at our church. You know, up until this point of being there, it's always been about the people and being closer to the people. And I think we have to get into that space so that even if you can't find that tribe of people in the environment you're in, there should be a lighthouse, a building, a place where you can go where people gather, where you know you could be taken care of. And that's what Christ's church should be and should look like. And sometimes that's just not the building. Sometimes it's literally me, you.
And just having that, we can minister anywhere.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Like, we don't matter where we at. We could be in the middle of a football game. We could be anywhere, in the mall, at work. You know what I mean? It's like, don't be afraid to speak. First of all, I'm not afraid to speak God's name at all. No matter where I'm at. Ain't nobody gonna stop me. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gonna tell me no different. You know what I mean? Because I'm God's child, and God don't play about his children. You feel what I'm saying? He do not play about me. You understand? So it's like, no matter what I go through, I always will say that he do not play about me. So watch the relationships, watch the bridges you may burn, like when you speak to people, because you really truly don't know their roots and where they're coming from. Like, it's nothing crazy. It's just the fact that be respectable to anybody and everybody you come across. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're building a tribe. Like, everybody should know that God is A1 from day one. You know what I'm saying? He's the Alpha and Omega. You understand?
Love yourself.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And what I really love is that the community that we have built and established where we cover each other in prayer. Like, I feel like if I needed prayer, I can easily call y'all up, say, look, pray for me. You've come to the church. We have prayer every Tuesday night from 8:30. We just come in, you know, and we're just walking around, laying out, and we're just praying every Tuesday night, and we're covering each other in prayer. And I think that's just super important. I know my family's covering me in prayer. I know your families are covering you in prayer. And that's what people also should know. Like, it gets hard out here.
Yeah,
you know, we struggle with depression, anxiety, disappointment, betrayal. We deal with a lot of disappointment, but we also overcome with discovery, right? And I think that this is a testament to the power of prayer and the power of community.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I definitely, I want you to talk a little bit maybe about your festival and into this camera. So maybe mention the festival, how they can get the tickets, tell them where they can follow you.
Okay, cool, man. Well, I guess I'll introduce myself first. They already know who I am.
Yeah. We at the end.
Tight.
Give us your Instagram.
Gotcha. Again, my name is Lee Adrian from Houston, Texas. My Instagram, it's Lee Adrian. That's ITSLEEADRIAN. My festival is the Nomadics Mini Festival. Every last Sunday of the month is we have it in between NoHo behind the Federal. We have partnered with the Vegan Exchange LA, and we have over 30, 40 vendors. About 200 people come out, 300 people. The last show was amazing. The show before that was very amazing. And I am in charge of the acts of booking the artists. So artists out there, you guys want to come and perform, holler at your boy, hit me on the DM, and we can work that out. But it's centered around mental health and loving yourself, loving the people around you, family and friends, and such. So,
yeah, man. Thank you for your positivity, bro. Thank you for what you're pouring into our community. And thank you for what you shared with our guests today, man.
Thank you, no problem. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.
100%.
And we got the bars.
Yeah.
All right. Everyone, let's give it up for Lee Adrian. Thank you. That was so good. If you or someone you know is in immediate distress or is thinking about hurting themselves, call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, toll free at 1-800-273-8255. You also can text the crisis text line, HELLO, to 741741, or use the Lifeline chat on the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline website.